This program is made possible by Anthem Medicaid. Anthem Medicaid is with you every step of the way. And Kentucky Legend, your everyday tradition.
Hello everybody, my name is Randy Lanham, your host for VolunTour Kentucky. Thank you so much for watching today. We're excited, I got my daughter Emma here with me today. We're excited to be here at the Humane Society of Muhlenberg County. We're here in Greenville, Kentucky. Excited about working with the animals today, Emma?
Uh-huh.
We're gonna learn all about this great organization and how you can get involved today.
Sometimes we move so fast, life passes by, we soon regret not giving up more time for those that need a helping hand, a friend to see. Come take a trip with me, VolunTour Kentucky, VolunTour Kentucky.
Britany, Joe, thank you all so much for meeting me here today. I've been so excited about coming down, doing the show at the Humane Society of Muhlenberg County, right?
Yes.
Is that where we're at?
That's where we're at.
Now, you being the director, you have a big job here. What?
Some days it sure is.
Tell us about it.
Well, here at the shelter, we take in about 100 animals every month, dogs and cats.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. So our primary goal is to find their homes where they came from, get them back to their owners. And if we're unable to do that, we do our best to put them into good homes or to get them to rescue.
Right. I love being in here in front of the cats. I can hear the cats meow. Joe, give us a big overview about the Humane Society. There may be somebody watching this and be like, what is Humane Society? What do they do? Tell us about it.
Well, like I say, it's one of the main things we do. Of course, we get calls about strays, and we try to educate the public also. Spay and neuter, of course, we're always talking spay and neuter, you know, vaccinations, rabies shots. But that's what we do, and Britany brought it up. We get so many animals in, our first priority is get them back home.
Right.
And we have a 5-day holding period. You know, that way we can post them, make sure everybody can come and reclaim their animals,
Right.
cat or dog. And you
So
know,
if they've
after
had
that,
one run off or something, not to be aware of
right,
it.
and that happens a lot. You know,
Right.
a dog's a dog. I mean,
Right.
you know, it'll run off every now and then. But that way they can. A lot of times we can kind of tell nobody's going to show up pretty quick. You know, but they still, when they get them in, before they ever leave the office, they're vaccinated before they're ever put in population and everything. That's something we do, dewormed and, you know, vaccinated. I think a thing people don't know we do is we're out all the time getting dispatch calls. There's a dog attacking my dog. There's a dog in my garbage. You know,
I bet you all get calls all the time then.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get them in the middle of the night?
Oh, yeah.
And you got to go out and make a run.
Yeah, we'll
Wow.
go out and make runs. And of course, we work with the police departments also. You know, they back us up, and we back them up, you know, so
Right.
to speak, and everything.
Yeah.
But she's right, the intake, and our thing now about everybody in Muhlenberg County has got a dog, most people. You just saw one get adopted this morning, though,
Yes.
just because somebody put it on Facebook, one of our volunteers. But what we do, the rescue she's talking about, we got them going to every state, just about. I mean, we're doing a lot of Wisconsin, a lot of Illinois, a lot of Indiana. And, you know, that's what our goal is, to find that dog or that cat a home.
Wow. And now, what all animals do you take in at the Humane Society? That's something I don't know. Obviously, dogs and cats.
Well,
Is that mostly?
Dogs and cats, but we get calls on every animal. So that way, if somebody calls on a pony, we'll try to find that pony a home. We don't bring it down there, but we know the people that would like to have some, or livestock. So yeah, we get calls on pigs, ponies, goats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have the capabilities of taking care of those animals here just because we are limited to a 40 dog capacity, and about 20 cats is about all we can hold. But we have board members that work with farmers and others in the community that can kind of network and find homes for pigs and ponies. And right now we're looking for a home for 5 ponies. So if anybody would like a pony, then please contact us.
Well, that's pretty cool, though, that even though you don't have the space here at this location, you know enough people,
Yeah.
you network, you get the word out, and you find a home for these animals, right?
Yeah.
You have to have such a compassion for the animals to do this job.
Patience for people.
Yeah.
And patience for people, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing that's really important here is getting pictures of everybody. So if we've only got 2 employees here at the shelter and we're dealing with public, we can always use people to come in and just take a couple quick pictures of the animals so that we can post those on Facebook or on adopted pet websites.
Because that's how probably most people find out
Well,
about it.
Right.
this dog went home today. One of her head volunteers, she had put it on her Facebook post, and that's where they saw it.
That's where they saw it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love that. Before we even got started today, to get to see an adoption take place, that was cool.
Right.
That was cool. So what about if someone, what if someone was not able to directly come here and volunteer? Do you ever do anything to where they do any kind of drives, like maybe food
Oh,
for the
yeah.
animals?
Oh,
Or
yeah. Oh,
tell us
Lord.
about that. What would they do?
If you wanted to do a fundraiser for us, then we can always set up something at Real King or at Walmart, even if you're just trying to get office supplies. That's something that people don't think about the shelters needing.
Right.
Paper, pen, just basic office supplies and cleaning supplies, and donate.
Right.
We can't get enough of that.
Right.
So
And then what about the supplies for the animals? What kind of supplies do you need for them?
all of our food, all of our toys, collars, leashes, everything is donated.
Right.
So if someone wanted to, for their birthday, ask for collars or dog food for the animals.
And that's what a lot of kids are doing now for the birthdays.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
neat.
talking
That's a
about-
great
yeah.
idea.
Kids instead of birthday presents, or the cats are grabbing her. but that's what kids are doing now. And if the kid or anybody brings down a donation, or a child does this, or a young person, we make sure we get it posted, get their name,
Yeah.
get it out there.
That's neat. So what about fundraising? I'm sure there's always a need for fundraising, for funds.
There is.
Every week we're doing something.
Okay,
You
so
know.
what if a person out there watching was like, I would like to maybe put on some kind of a fundraiser for my local Humane Society. What are some ideas? What are some things people do around here?
Something easy that kids and adults alike can do are bake sales or car washes.
Yeah.
That's something that businesses don't mind you at all, setting up a table with some baked goods.
Or if they got like a store that's got a lot of pet supplies, have it set up out there just for a donation, or or something. Then they can also have the bake sale, and just have out here, say, here's what we're trying to get mostly. Here's the top 5 things they need, and that may be cleaning supplies, bleach, which use a ton of that, Lysol
Right.
and bleach and things
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, you can do anything like that, or do fundraisers. We had a chili supper. Board members and the staff had get together over there at Central City Wellness Center, and we had about 200 people come to that.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a great turnout.
It was a real good one, yeah. And Uncle Eastbud's gun shop donated us a pistol to run off. The stores, we have a good county.
Yeah, that's great. Now, what about training? What if somebody was to walk through these doors right now and say, "I'm ready to become a volunteer"? Now, what would you do?
Well,
What-
she'd get one of her
If
staff.
I'm here, I would put you to work. You'd be washing dishes, and then we could play with puppies later.
Okay, but you
But-
train them and you help them,
Right.
and they have to go through process of training and different things
Right.
to get started.
You of course have to sign a waiver, and then depending on what you're comfortable with, you can either be working with dogs or working with the cats, or you can be completely away from the animals doing cleaning. There's always something that can be done.
Or all of the above.
Yeah, or all of the above. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if they don't want to be in here, well, they can clean outside.
Right.
we always have something
Right.
to do. And we get a lot of young people in now. They didn't used to a lot of time. But we invite the young people to come.
Yes, that's awesome. Well, I want to thank you both for your time so much. Anything else y'all like to add?
One more volunteer opportunity that there is answering the phones and returning calls. We get a huge influx of calls. Sometimes the phone might not ring all day, and that's a blessing. But sometimes it rings off the hook.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we can
that-
always use a volunteer to return calls.
That and transportation. We always need drivers.
Oh, yeah, drivers.
Well, for rescues and things like
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah, sometimes there are 20 dogs that get to go to rescue in one day, so it's a big job for somebody.
Gosh,
but,
that is.
Yeah.
But so you're always needing volunteers. Any skills, anytime you have, come on down.
Come on
right?
down.
We'll
Come on
find a
down.
place
Right.
for you.
And I'm sure wherever they're watching this at, they can find their local Humane Society. Probably, I would think a lot of the same needs would be at just about any Humane Society.
It is.
Anywhere they're watching.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, cat. No matter where you're at, they have to be cleaned. Everything's got to be
That's
cleaned
right.
up, disinfected, shots, vet care,
What?
transportation.
I want to just thank you both very much
Thank you, young man.
for what you do for the Humane Society, first of all, and for taking your time to let us come invade your space
Thank
today.
you.
Okay? Thanks for having us. Appreciate it
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks.
Laura, thank you so much for meeting me here today. It's
Yes.
very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Now, I understand you're a volunteer here at the Humane Society.
Yes, I am a weekend volunteer. I'm off on Fridays, so I get to be here at the shelter on Fridays, Saturdays, and sometimes Sundays.
Wow.
Yes.
And I understand you're pretty faithful. You've been doing this for a while?
I have. I've been doing it consistently for about the past 2 years.
Man, that is great.
Yes.
So you love animals.
I love animals. I have a house full of rescue animals at home. And then these are also mine, whether it's for a week or sometimes a year. So these are all my other rescue babies.
Now, who do we have here with
We
us?
have Mr. Ralph here with us today.
Hi, Mr. Ralph.
And Ralph's been here at the shelter just for about a month and a half, but he has completely transformed to a new dog just in those 6 or so weeks. Mr. Ralph, come here.
He a little
Come
bit
here,
shy of
baby.
the cameras?
He is a little shy guy. He's made incredible progress, though. We actually had to catch Ralph in a humane trap. He was a stray. He had wandered up to a home, and luckily those folks gave us a call and said there's a pretty thin, scared dog here. So we got Mr. Ralph in a trap, got him here to the shelter, and he has become a new dog
Wow.
just in that short time. So he's now actually probably one of the favorites here,
Oh,
waiting
wow.
for his home.
I love hearing those
Mr.
stories.
Ralph.
So I brought my daughter Emma here with us, and you are going to actually train us on some of the volunteering opportunities. So what do we got we're going to do
Yes,
today?
well, Ralph is perfect because when they get here, especially when they've been out on the streets and they're a shepherd mix like Mr. Ralph, they've got some extra hair that needs to come off and get cleaned. So we're going to brush and wipe Ralph today. And that
Okay.
way he looks even more handsome for his new family.
That
so
sounds good.
Emma, if you want to take this, you can't hurt him with this no matter what angle you start with. And it's just like our long hair. You just run it down Ralph's back, face, wherever you want to, and we'll get some of this coat off.
Come here, buddy.
Mr. Ralph. This is going to feel
Come here,
good.
buddy. Yeah.
That's perfect. And this gets, yes, this gets all of that extra fur that's been on there, and he'll look even better. Good boy, Ralph.
Now I bet you've seen a lot of success stories come through here.
We have. I have to say, to be a rural shelter in small town Western Kentucky, the majority of our stories end really well.
Yes.
We do not have to have, the sad beginnings are frequent, but the happy endings are just as frequent. So we're thrilled to be able to send them out of here looking and behaving like Ralph most of the time.
Yes. And I bet you get attached, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Oh.
We do. And like I said, sometimes it's just a few days, and we love it when they go from shelter to a home almost instantly. But that really small part of us is like, there they go.
Yeah.
We just had a senior favorite literally just get adopted 15 minutes ago. So
Right.
I think all the ladies that have known him for the past couple months went, oh, there goes Brutus. But we
Yes.
were so thrilled to see Brutus leave with a good family.
Yes.
So that happens. Sometimes it'll happen 3 in a row, and sometimes we'll wait a few weeks for that perfect family to come, but they usually do.
Tell me, if there's a potential volunteer out there, someone thinking, you know, I might be interested in the Humane Society volunteering, I'm just not sure, what would you tell them?
Yes, and it can be overwhelming because there's so many dogs, and you think, where do I start? How do I help? Just come down, and some days it might be laundry. You might feel like Mama is telling you, hey, get started on the laundry, but that's so vital here. My thing, if Laura just got to pick something to volunteer about, it is walking and running these dogs, because they do have to spend a lot of time indoors just simply because they're here at the shelter.
Right.
So we love to get them out and run, smell new things, get in new places, and they love it. So if there's nothing else going on, I say let's grab a dog and a leash and take off.
Take
and that's
off,
what I
give 'em some
love to see them do.
exercise.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
cannot be done too often. A dog cannot be walked too much. So there's always that need.
So after Emma gets, I know we still got some brushing to do, but after she would get done brushing, she just takes these wipes and
Yes, those are
they're all
incredible.
just
They clean his new sleek coat. They deodorize. So just wipe him down like you would a baby, and he smells great.
Oh,
good
I think
boy,
he kind of
Ralph.
likes that. Does that feel
That
good,
feels
buddy?
good, doesn't it, honey?
Does that feel good?
Perfect.
And you just, why do you love, what drew you to want to volunteer at a Humane Society?
Well, I have the rescue animals myself. Like I said, I'm just an animal, a dog and cat person. So I have them at home, and that's a part-time job. But I thought, they're taken care of. They've been saved. And there's all of these that have not. So I know my babies at home are taken care of and they're good to go. So let's get down here and try to keep putting them in homes like mine and like all of these ladies here. That's the purpose of rescue. So once one is rescued, you can't stop there and say, okay, check, I'm done.
Right.
There's always, we'll move 5 in a day, but take in 10. So it's truly, you don't ever get to the bottom of that pile and say, we're finished.
Right.
So I
Well,
can
that
get
is
here
awesome.
and keep doing it.
Thank you for your service to these animals that need love from people like you.
Yes.
And I could tell, I just try to imagine when you told the story about having to get him, and just look how far he's come just because of the love that you all have shown him.
It
Look
was
at him.
amazing.
Oh,
Yes.
I can't even imagine how scared he must have been, and now he knows the love that you all pour into him, and he's just so gentle and loving now.
He very quickly blossomed, opened up. My first picture, I try to get pictures of them with my first encounter, whether that be Friday, Saturday, when I get to meet them. And he was up against his kennel wall with his little head down, just defeated, had not been here very long. And I think it was within 2 days, he already had a lady who had seen his face and was coming down here regularly to sit with him. I very quickly became obsessed with him because look at him.
Yeah.
And all of the ladies just embraced him, and now he goes to each of them seeking out love.
Yeah.
When, like I said, he had to be caught in a trap because he was that terrified.
Wow.
So it didn't take Ralph long, and that's incredible for a stray who hasn't known human touch and regular schedules. He has just really taken to it, and he could go into a home this morning and just be flawless.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
what a
that's what we
great
want.
dog. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for your service to the Humane Society, your love for animals. And I'll tell you what, you mentioned walking, so how about we end this little segment here and we'll let Emma, what about you take him for a walk? Huh? Does that sound good? Joe, Tammy, thank you all so much for meeting me here at the Humane Society in Muhlenberg County today. Now, I understand we got a kind of a cool story. Who is this back here? Handsome Hank.
It is.
Tell us about Handsome Hank. I understand y'all have a kind of a cool story about Hank.
Well, Hank is one of those dogs you get calls on, say there's a Great Dane out running in my yard getting in my trash.
Yeah?
So we go talk to the owners, beat on the doors. He's been passed around. And then you get a call, there's a dog, Great Dane, tied up on a 5-foot chain. You go knock on the door, tell them we can't have that, get him some food and water.
Uh-huh.
About 8 trips later, we just told them, said, you're not going to take care of your dog, we'll take it for you.
Yeah.
And they brought it down here and told us to find it a home. And then I knew this young lady was looking for one, so Hank wasn't in here but one night.
Is that right? Now, you was telling me something earlier. You said that you was going to try to help take care of Hank, but not necessarily adopt him. But what happened?
Yes, because we were looking for a dog, but we found a dog a few weeks prior to Hank.
Uh-huh.
So whenever I talked to Joe about Hank, I said, oh goodness, we've got this puppy and I just don't know if I can take another dog. So I called Joe and I said, Joe, we'll sponsor, we'll buy the food, I'll even pay his medical bills, we'll pay his adoption fee. So Joe said, okay, come on by, check him out, see who you're going to be sponsoring. So I come in, they went back and got him, he come across, he laid his head down on my feet, and I said, Joe, he's not going to be here any longer, he's going home with me.
Going home with you. So tell us, when Hank came in here, what kind of shape was he in?
Well, his hair didn't look real good, and he was skinny as a rail. I forget his weight. Tammy probably tell you his weight, but he was real skinny, and his eyes had a lot of stuff in his eyes. They was infected, and his hair, like I say, he had some hot spots on him where fleas had been eating on him, things like that.
So it wasn't really well taken care of. The Humane Society, you all came along and was able to take care of him, and you came in and he stole your heart right away, right?
Yes, he weighed 97 pounds, which for a Great Dane, that is really underweight. He weighs 138 pounds now.
Yeah.
He eats Purina One and he sleeps in a king-size bed now.
Sleeps
so.
in a king-size bed. Come here, Hank. Let's see you, buddy.
Well,
Let's let everybody see that pretty face.
Well,
Handsome Hank,
Handsome
right?
Hank. Well, the sad part of it is they bought him a twin-size bed and he wouldn't fit.
Get your own bed. All right. Well, I tell you what, thank you all for sharing the story about Hank. You know, it's so inspirational to hear about the Humane Society coming out to help animals, not just dogs. You help all kinds of different animals, but I'm sure happy to hear the story about Mr. Hank here. Billy, thank you so much for meeting me here today. I'm so excited. So you are a longtime volunteer at the Humane Society.
Yes.
How long have you been volunteering?
I've been here probably, I have to say, a year, maybe two. I really, the time gets away from
It
me,
flies,
but I love
don't it?
coming, yes.
So I think one of the next volunteer opportunities, Emma, that you can also help us with is we got a puppy we're going to watch?
Yes, yes.
All right.
So we get in puppies.
So Miss Britany,
Yay, look
you
at
want to
this
bring
sweet baby.
the puppy in? Oh, gosh. Looky here.
So I got all relaxed.
Oh.
So puppies come in, and he actually gets to go to a rescue, which means he'll basically get to go to a foster home and get toward adoption real quickly. But when they come in, he said, I never had a bath. So he said, I need a bath. So that's something we get to do, and we love, you know, of course, all the sizes, but he's going to be fun.
All right.
Yes,
So
so we'll
get you a bath.
Probably his first bath.
Yes, so we're going to
so
be
this
like,
might be very exciting.
Might be
huh?
exciting.
You ready
we'll
for
get
this?
our temperature right, and let me move this because he might get frisky. So this is something you can do at home. My rescue doggie, her first bath was in a kitchen sink, and so you always want to get your temp right, just like with a baby. And then it's good to have him on a leash, so in case he tries to get away, and you just keep your body close to him so he feels secure. And give him a little kiss. So when you wash any dog, but especially a puppy, you want to make him feel very secure. And you can touch him, Emma, just pet him. And that way he knows he's okay. And you always make sure your water is the right temperature, just like with a baby. And he's never had a bath before, so look, it's different. See his little face. He said, this is different. Oh, feels good though.
It does
so
feel
you
good.
Get him
He
nice
acts-
and wet. Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, he's acting
so
pretty
pet
good.
him, and we'll do his little head a little bit. Watch out. And it can be messy because sometimes they shake. I try to teach my doggies to shake at the end after the towel comes out. Yes, and this is one reason we like to do laundry, so we have lots of towels for this.
Yeah.
Yes, so you get them good and wet. I'll try to do that a little bit on him. Yay! He's being very good for his first bath. And then
Wow,
we'll get
yeah, he's being
our
really
soap.
good.
We have little doggy shampoo, and this is one of the things we get donated. We love donations. Like one of our favorite cleaners of the kennels is called Fabuloso. So if you ever see that in the store, buy it for any of your Humane Society. But also just doggy shampoo. You know, something safe we can use on our babies. And this stuff is like
There you
anti-flea.
go.
Yes, he loves it.
Get in there with both hands, Emma.
Yes, and
Yeah,
you can
there
get
you
his little
go.
feet. And it's good always to play with your dog's feet and mouth. So it teaches your dog good manners later, and it'll make him a better pet. And we like to work with our doggies because that makes them easier for adoption if they're not scared of their feet or their mouth being touched and their face. Yes. It's always good to
Oh,
look in
he's
your
being
dog's
so good.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to have bonding time. Come off our water. We'll get our towel. You want to get that?
Yeah.
And then just surround him. There. Good. Perfect. Yes, he said. We'll get all loose here, too. Good job. Oh,
Oh,
what
dry
a
you
good
up.
boy.
Oh, yeah.
He said, I like that.
Dry those ears.
Yeah, so you never know what you'll get to do at the Humane Society.
Yeah. Always being so good. I dry you up, buddy.
the other thing that's neat, if you ever see a dog online or if you come in, you can take one home for the weekend and just try, sometimes we call it a trial adoption, because sometimes things don't always fit, like a dog may not like a cat or, but you can do that, and it even gives them like a weekend away from the shelter and social time to be with the family and learn about being in a family.
I never heard of
Yeah.
that. Never heard of that. That's a great idea, though.
Yeah, it's really
because you're right.
easy.
Sometimes if you have another animal in the house and not really sure if they're
Yeah.
going to click or not,
Yeah, and you can bring, one thing Britany, our director, does is always introduce one-on-one if there are other dogs. So it's nice, you can bring your pet too. But it's cool just to say, hey, I want to take them home and give them a little TLC.
I'll move you over a little bit, buddy, so I can get on this side of you.
Good job.
Well, this has been so much fun.
Yes,
Billy,
thank you for coming.
thank you so much for your service to the Humane Society, for your inspirational stories, and for training us on some of these volunteer opportunities today. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it so very much.
Oh, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much for watching the show today. We've had a blast hanging out down here at the Humane Society of Muhlenberg County. Britany, thanks for having us in today. Thanks for teaching us all about this great organization. We hope you go out and volunteer today. Get connected. Thanks again for watching.
Thank you.
This program is made possible by Anthem Medicaid. Anthem Medicaid is with you every step of the way. And Kentucky Legend, your everyday tradition.